So we're talking about the actual coach, right? And a coach is many things. And one of them is being an effective leader. Now, if you're going to be an effective leader, you need to understand what your value system is and abiding by them, because it's very easy as an individual in any profession to grab a random number of words and then just blurt them out in any moment in time, right? So when we're talking about values, what are they? And I'm going to cold call people, so please, Carl, what are values?
What, as in what's are my values, or what's
No, what are values in general?
What the thing that motivates you? The thing is it?
Anyone else?
Trust.
Trust? Is that a value, or is that what are values?
They're principles that guide your decision making and actions.
Guiding principles. Good.
How you live.
Right. Now, why have them? Why have them at all?
Because you can't make rules up for every single situation. You need something to fall back on that guides what you do in situations you may not have experienced before.
Also, I think accountability as well.
Yeah, 100%. Love that word. Now, if you're explaining accountability to a 7th grader, how would you explain that? What is accountability?
Yeah, so from my point of view, it's around making sure that there's that conversation around acknowledging. So if something's not right, acknowledging what that is, having that conversation, but not judging as well. So working to move forward with it. That's obviously with the coaching experience and how it seems to work for me a little bit. So on both sides. So from a coaching level, so holding everybody in a group at that, something's said, something's done, actions, you can actually have the conversation and go through it. That way you build that level that they can be open to conversation.
And athletes are really, when you're holding someone accountable, you're really asking them to do their job.
Yeah.
And if we're on a basketball court and you're holding someone accountable, what does that look like when you hold someone accountable? What happens?
Well, they have to know what their job is first, so that they can be accountable for it. So,
Number one, yep.
and then if they don't understand what their job is, helping them understand it, and then the consequences, or why we did it, when we did it, what happened after we did it.
So you really go through a process of repetition. Whoop. Going through a process of repetition. Action, redo. Don't do something that we hold valuable, all right, do it again. If a kid makes a mistake in a training session, they fall down. No, that's not how we guard the basketball, do it again. And just kind of take them through the process of constantly teaching and get them to understand this is what we hold valuable, so please do accordingly, because that's what we do in this team. Now, the one word I want to try and avoid down this whole conversation is the word culture. And culture can be cliche. It's like, oh, this is a part of our culture. Yeah, okay. So what do you actually do in the culture? What's the functionality of it day to day? Within the team, association, state, nation, world. All right? So what I want to take you down the journey of, I'm not going to be talking the whole time. I'm going to be doing a lot of thinking, okay? We're going to come up with, not we, you will, come up with a list of 10 values, and then we'll put that through the churner to knuckle that down to 3, all right? And the first activity I'd like you to please think about, whether you have pen and paper or your phone, or just your brain power. Activity number 1, I would like you to please think of the last 5 things that you purchased with your life savings that meant a lot to you, and what about that purchase did you value? And I want you to associate a word with that particular purchase. And I'll give you 2 minutes.
Genuinely without life saving.
Correct. Genuinely with your life savings. So, what were the last 5 things that you purchased with your life savings that you can associate with value, and why you purchased?
How many times are you spending your life savings?
No, I'm not saying like all of them. Not all of them. No. Yes. A major purchase. A major purchase with your life savings. Oh God, sorry. I'm not to all the investment property owners in here. That's not what I mean. All right. So, coaches, 2 minutes. 5 things that you purchased with your last life savings, and then associating that purchase with a value. What were they? Now, coaches, next thing I'd love for you to dig into the memory bank, or the emotional bank, or spiritual. I want you to please write down 3 people you admire and why. 3 people you admire and why, famous or not, next door neighbor or not. 3 people that you admire, and within those 3 people, I would love for you to please extract why that person and what about them do you admire. Then out of those 3 people, you'll get some common trends. Those common trends, I want you to add to your list of 10. All right, coaches, number 3. 2 minutes to think of a moment in your life where you were on top of the world, and be as descriptive as humanly possible. And within your description, I want you to also try and extract some values that you can grab from that memory and description, then add that to your list of 10 values, please. So trying to remember a moment in your life where you were on top of the world, describing it, extracting within the description, from within the description. Now, out of these 3 activities, coaches, here's what I'd like you to do next. Please list down the 10 values that you were able to extract from those 3 activities. And then from those 10, I'd like you to please trim that down to 5. Once you have those 5, coaches, I'd like you to please trim that even further. Your starting lineup is now making a 3x3 team. And you have to come to a final 3. So after the 10, trim to 5. After that 5, decide on 3 as your top 3 values that you were able to think of within these 15 to 20 minutes. What I'd like you to do now, we still need to bring this back to the game, and you as a coach. So what I want you to do in your pair is find another pair, make a group of 4, and in your group of 4, I'd like you to discuss if these 3 values are going to be the values that you are potentially going to live by, and they might change. What is that going to look like, and what is it going to sound like in a game? Same with training, same with off-court